Welcome to episode 74 of Tools in the Hall. I have a few repeat items to show you, and I have some new things to show you for some brand new customers that I just took on the past couple of weeks. So I'm stoked to tell you that business is doing well. We're growing a little bit, and we're going to start right out with a new light from Coast. This is the Coast Slayer Pro. It departs from Coast's model from a lot of their other lights. This does not have a focusing beam like a lot of the lights do, and this is not dual power like a lot of their other lights are. This is rechargeable only, and instead of having a focusing beam, it has two bulbs in it. One's a spot, one's a flood. So you have the two bulbs up front. Pocket clip on it. It's a beautiful rectangular body, so it can't roll when you put it down. And this is a really nice steel color. They have them in black as well. Still has a lifetime warranty, and in fact this one's going to a customer because I'm replacing one of his under warranty. He said it stopped charging. No problem. The easiest thing in the world with Coast Lights is to fulfill a warranty claim. I simply give him this new one. He gives me the broken one, and it's all good with my customer. Though on the back end, I just return this to my distributor. I don't even have to go through Coast directly. So it makes it really easy because then the distributor just gives me a credit on my account for the bad light. So let me show you how this works. There's two power buttons on it. You have the top one and the bottom one. Now the top one will cycle you through all the different modes. High, low, spot, flood. Okay? Now let's say you want this to come on. I know you can't see it too good because the camera doesn't pick it up so well, but let's say you want it to come on, say the third setting, which is their spot setting, right? So you choose what mode you want it to come on all the time, and then you press and hold this bottom button for a couple of seconds. The light blinks, and now this bottom button is your power button that always brings you on the mode that you just saved it to. So on and off that mode only. The top button still cycles you through all the other modes. Cool little feature because for some folks, they can't stand having to cycle through different modes every time they turn it on if there's one that they prefer to use most of the time. This gives you that level of convenience where you just program that bottom button and you're coming on your preferred mode each and every time you turn this on. So I love the design of this, love the pocket clip. I love that it can't roll. They put a lot of thought into this design. So good on Coast for that. As you know from watching this channel, I am a big fan of Coast, and when they come out with new products like this, I love getting them on the truck to see what people's reactions are. And the Slayers have been selling very, very well. I'm very pleased with this particular light and how well it's been selling. So that coupled with how easy it is to take care of under warranty, man, Coast could not make it any easier for me to make it easier for you. And when they can do that, in my mind, they're a keeper of a company. I like them a lot as a company, and I love their products. You can watch a video of me repairing this 3/4 inch air impact from Mako. That video comes up, I think, the week after you're going to see this video. So this one's all set, ready to go. I'm bringing it back to my customer this week. It had a funny problem, and I'll say this to tease the video. It's not a typical problem. And knowing me as I do, I'm kind of surprised that I found it. I might be revealing too much about what I think of my own incompetencies are, but I've only had one impact I couldn't fix, and I've made a video on that one too. So full disclosure's out there. You can see it for what it is. But this one had a tricky little problem. The issue originally was that the customer would pull the trigger, and sometimes it would just blow air and the anvil wouldn't turn. And he demonstrated that to me in person while I was standing with him in his bay. So I got good firsthand experience with what his problem was. By the time I got it back home to my shop, it wasn't having that problem. So I had a little bit of investigative work to do, and when I did it, you might be surprised to find what the cause of the problem was. This is a 15/16 reversible ratcheting combination wrench from Gearwrench. Not one I normally carry on the truck. This one is going to a customer to replace a broken one he has under warranty, and gearwrench makes it very, very easy to handle warranty claims from customers, just like Coast does. I just swap out the old for the new, and I take the old, send it into my distributor, and I get credit for it. Now, people have told me that they have not had positive experiences dealing with gearwrench, or rather their parent group Apex, directly when it comes to warranty claims. If you don't have a dealer who has access to gearwrench or who will take care of a warranty for you, you do have to go through the company directly. And I hear you. I actually experienced that recently myself when I tried to get a few warranty items taken care of through them. But on their website, they now have a method for you to fill out an online form, attach a picture, and send it to them. I hope that that works better than the old way of calling them, because for a while I was like, man, I don't know what anyone's problem is. Every time I call them, they're great. Well, unfortunately, the last couple of times I had to work with them directly on something, they have been a little less responsive than I'd like. Hopefully this form that they have will solve those problems and make it much more streamlined. We'll have to see how that plays out. If you have had any experience with that, please leave in the comments. Let all of us know what it's been like. I'm hoping for much better things, because I really enjoy gearwrench as a company. I do like their products a lot. Their hand tools are second to none. Their wrenches put them on the map, and they're the de facto in ratcheting combination wrenches. I just need their corporate supplied support to step up the game and be a little bit better than it has. On one of my previous tool hauls, you saw me show you this Jeepers Creeper folding creeper. Fold it up, make it double or even quadruple thickness. Makes a great kneeling pad, or a pad to lie down on the ground, or to take a nap. I didn't say that while you were at work. No, you wouldn't do that. It's from Lisle, the same brand as their rolling plastic creepers. This one is kind of versatile, and I bought one for a customer who asked me about a kneeling pad. He said he had one that was however big. He wanted a bigger one. I showed him the one I had from KTool, which was larger than that, but he said he wanted one bigger still. He settled on this one. I delivered it to him last week, and he said, you know, get me a second one. So this one's going to the same customer who just bought one the week before. Great pad. They're rugged, durable. I think he bought one for his son. He's keeping one for himself. And they're pretty versatile. Use them in the shop if you want, but usually they're made for mobile or remote work where you're on the ground and can't wheel a wheeled creeper around. Unless you buy one of those really expensive creepers with the big casters on them, this one for a whole lot less money really fits the bill. This is the 5-piece locking pliers set from Milwaukee. I love these because they have a torque lock feature on the back, and you can see the photo on the box demonstrates that after you tighten this down, stick a screwdriver in it, and then you can crank that around to get extra holding power by torquing that torque lock feature. I don't know of anyone else who has something similar. I know people have welded washers onto the back of their vice grips to do the same thing. And this is better, I think, than just a thumb turn you get on the vice grips, because you don't have that option on the vice grip to do what you can do with these. And these are a little bit beefier than the vice grip ones, and they're a little bit less expensive. So between the original vice grip brand locking pliers and the locking pliers from Milwaukee, I give the edge to the Milwaukee ones. Same lifetime warranty, better features, better built, at a lower price. The magnetic glove box holders are very popular. There's a number of different brands that have these. I get the ones from KTool because the quality seems to be the same as any of the other brands, and the pricing is less. So I like getting these for guys. I had a customer ask me for 2 of these, so he's getting this one plus another one that I also have in the box. The larger boxes of gloves, especially if you wear a bigger size, are a little, they kind of make the box bulge a little bit, so you have to really cram them in these holders. But they'll stay in there, but it's really good for even the smaller boxes of gloves that might fit a little bit loosely. There are some adjustable fingers on the sides of these that will put tension on your glove box. So Very handy to have to stick on your cart or your toolbox. And what goes better in these than a box of Coil Tools Disposable Nitro gloves? A little plug for my product. Oh, I got one right here. So if you need gloves, you can buy these 8mm orange diamond pattern grip Nitro gloves. Latex free, powder free. They're nice and thick so you can get multiple uses out of one pair. Just take them off your hands, turn them inside out, dry them off, and you can reuse them. They're solvent resistant, so they'll last a good long time. You can get these for a lot less money than the regular $25 to $30 price tag that you'll see these for on other tool trucks. I sell them on my website, coiltools.com/shop, and you can buy a case of 1,000 gloves. That's 10 of these boxes with 100 gloves each for just $150 plus tax, but that includes shipping to you. So go to coiltools.com/shop, buy a case of 1,000 8mm thick orange Nitro gloves. Your hands will thank you. Here's where I admit something else that's kind of unflattering about myself. Oh gosh, it had to have been a year ago. I had a customer give me a broken Streamlight ProTac light, and I sent it in, and they sent back a new one, but they sent it in different packaging. And instead of coming with the rechargeable power cells that it originally came with, they sent it with CR123 non-rechargeable batteries, and he said, hey, I need the other batteries. I completely forgot until he reminded me, so here I am now ordering him replacement set of batteries for his light. Roscoe, I'm so sorry for the wait on that one. It's one of those things that slips your mind, and I know that it's an insult for people to feel forgotten, and I unfortunately I did that, and I apologize. That was completely my bad. But I am glad that he reminded me, because now I can make it right. So, new batteries for Roscoe. Oh, these are cool. I was dying to see these because these were on, well, they weren't on back order. They were new product. So they weren't readily available, but now they are. This is from KTool. This is their 600 lumen flexible headlamp. Now, for a long time, I was selling a lower grade light for pretty cheap money with no warranty on them. They weren't, I mean, they were a fine light, but they would eventually crap out and die on people, so they didn't have the longevity I liked. So I'm dying to see how these perform in comparison. And I'm very optimistic that these will do well because they're better build quality. And I get these from my largest distributor, who is very good at standing behind their products. So I don't think we're going to have any issue at all with that. Let's figure out how it works together. This is the first time I've laid my hands on one. So here is out of the package. There's a side light on there, and then the front-facing lights, which are just flexible LED strips. On the back of this is a really comfortable-looking rubber pad for your head, and it even has rear-facing LEDs. So let's see what happens. See if there's a charge in it. Okay, so if we push the power button, the strip in the front comes on, the lights in the back come on, and then, okay. So we're cycling through, comes on high, goes to low, and then the side light comes on. The rear facing light's on all the time. And then it has a motion sensor, so usually you gotta press and hold these. Let's see if that's what you do. No? Yes? No? Hold on. Okay, so you just turn it on, then press the sensor button, and then every time you wave your hand in front of the sensor, the light turns on and off. And does it do that for any mode? Yeah. So no matter what mode you have it on, as long as you have that sensor turned on, yeah, I just turned it off. So that's the way that works. Very nice. Love it. Nice and big, too, for all you big-headed folks out there. You know who you are. So I'm been very interested to get these on the truck. This actually is going to a customer because he saw it in the flyer and was dying to try one. So I told him I'd get it for him, see how he likes it to get his feedback, and I can't wait to know what he tells me after he gets a chance to use it and live with it for a while. It's not as tight as it could be, so it might look a little big on me. But yeah, these are very, very comfortable. Let's tighten it down a little bit so I can give you a real visual on what it looks like. That's better. These are very comfortable. It's a nice wide band, and depending on how you have it positioned on your head, you can cover quite a large area with this flexible floodlight up front, and then of course you have the spots in the back. You don't have to see the buttons to know exactly where they are. And then you can turn on the motion sensor and then just on and off with a wave of your hand or when you walk really close to a car. That's the only downside, is that sometimes these things will, those motion sensors will turn these lights on and off. Sometimes at the most inconvenient time, but such is the trade-offs we make. So I'm dying to give this to my customer and see what he thinks. I will be stocking these regularly on the truck now that they are available. And they're not expensive. I think they're like $46 or something. And they should have a 1-year warranty, I believe. Am I lying to you about the warranty? Hold on. Let me check the warranty. You'd think I'd know that before I shoot the video. I was wrong about the warranty. No warranty on these. So for the, the $40-something that it is, it's not it's not a huge risk to take, but at least we'll at least we know. And I'm not necessarily surprised. Usually in this business, when it comes with a charging cord too, usually in this business, you pay for a warranty one way or the other. You know what I mean? That inexpensive product usually is not going to have a good warranty. The less expensive the product, but the worse the warranty is. And that's what I expect to see with a light like this. If this were, a $100 light, yeah, there'd be a warranty on it. But it's not. It's a $40 light, so no, there's no warranty. We all know what it's like to need permission from your boss to buy something, and I have a new customer who asked me to quote him out a couple of sets of sockets. He was looking for 12-point, 3/8 drive, metric, and standard. And you're looking at me look at this for the first time and realize I think I ordered the wrong set. Dang it. Yeah, I did. So I had a customer ask me for a standard and a metric set of 12-point, 3/8 drive, impact grade sockets. Sunx is my go-to for this one, so I got him this set, which is the semi-deep, and it's supposed to be the shallow. So you're seeing my actual face of disappointment in real time. And then there's standard ones here. The standard set runs 5/16 to 1 inch, and the metric set runs 7 to 19 millimeter. So I'm going to have to profusely apologize to him for screwing this up, but he's going to get the standard ones anyway. I mean, he's welcome to the semi-deep if he wants them, but it's not what he asked me to order. So I got to reorder these. No big deal. The other ones are in stock. I just goofed that up. Must have punched in the wrong part number. Sometimes the part numbers are really close, and if you fat finger one, then and you're not good about double checking, like apparently I wasn't on this one. So my bad. I'll make it right. And in the meantime, he'll get the standard set. I'm going to make a bold statement and prove me wrong. No one makes a nicer magnetic socket rail and half-cut Torx sockets than Vim. Am I right or am I right? The rail's beautiful. It has magnet strips on the top side to hold the sockets, and it's magnetized on the bottom so you can stick it to any ferrous metal surface. These sockets just pull off these adjustable studs, and you can tighten those down so now the stud can't slide around. So you can space these out exactly however you want, and they'll slide out the end here. This little T-channel, so you can slide the whole thing out if you want to, rearrange them, take these out, add new ones in, and you can see the magnet rails here are just beautiful. This is a great looking socket set. They have this little pull tab on it so that when this is flat on a surface, you can pull on that to lift the whole thing up. Otherwise, you're going to have a heck of a time getting this off of the bottom of your drawer or the lid of your cart or whatever you have it stuck to. The bits themselves are beautiful one-piece, half-cut Torx bits. All are 1/4-inch drive. And this set runs from T10 to T50. Gorgeous little set. They're not the cheapest things in the world, but this is a beautiful, well-made set. I love them for a lot of reasons because the stuff they make really is beautiful. You feel like you've kind of reached a new level of refinement when you're using tools that are this nice, and it comes with a price tag. But in my mind, it's worth it because you're using the highest quality tools made of high-grade steel on a beautiful rail, and when you look at how low profile that rail is and how much space it can save you, it's going to give you more bang for your buck for how much you spent in your storage in the first place, because you can utilize the square inches in your box drawers for more stuff when you use rails like this. So a little bit more money here goes a long way in saving you money in other areas. You've heard me tout all kinds of things about the Power Probe 3. This is the standard de facto diagnostic tool. The Power Probe 4 is similar in design. It has way more features, but for most people's applications, the Power Probe 3 has you covered. This one is a DC voltmeter, and it indicates what the voltage is. It has LED lights so you can see under the dash and in dark corners. It indicates bad ground. Has a short circuit indicator. You can test relays and other components with it, and it has a nice audible signal so you know when you have continuity. So it's very easy to test fuses and relays with this, and you can also inject 12-volt power with it. So if you want to bench test a component, or if you want to quickly track down where a fault in the system lies, you can activate the light, the motor, whatever, that's not getting power, and if it gets power when you attach the probe to it, then just backtrack the signal until you find the fault in the line. Additionally, there's an adapter for this. Just pop this probe off, put this little 5-volt adapter in it, then stick the probe back on, and you can inject 5-volt power into computer subsystems. Do not inject 12-volt power into those systems, or you'll have a very expensive mistake you have to fix. So buy the adapter if you need to check other components. This is great for all 12-volt systems. You have to be careful who you joke with, because if you don't know their sense of humor, jokes can backfire. And I had a person I'd never dealt with before at a shop come up to me the other day asking if I can help him out with a pair of broken OTC 4-in-1 angled crimper stripper wire tool. So he hands it to me and I said, "Oh man, it's bent." And he got really defensive. And he said, no, it was supposed to be like that. I'm like, I know, I'm messing with you. Didn't go over well. But he laughed it off. So this is a replacement. OTC makes these. Vim makes these. And Lisle, I think? Yeah, I think Lisle has a version of these. All different prices, give or take a few bucks here and there. I know Snap-on has these. Lots of companies have them. But it's a very popular crimper stripper because it has the wire strippers here that goes from 12 to 20 gauge. And then you have the crimpers on the nose, which are also 12 to 20 gauge. Makes it real easy to access stuff under the dash, especially with that angle on it. And you can grip at the end so you can pull and twist things if you have to. Very handy. The straight-nosed version of these tends to be a little more popular, but whether you get the straight nose or the bent nose, you are getting yourself a really good quality tool to make your stripping and crimping jobs easier, especially if you're working in a confined space. A customer asked me to get him a 90-degree pick, and I had one from gearwrench, which was, I mean, they call it a 90-degree pick, but if you look at it, it's really kind of just, it angles up a little bit. I said, is this one? He goes, no. He says, it's got to be 90 degrees. I'm like, okay, then you're going to get this one, because this is as 90-degree a pick as you're ever going to find. It's from our pals at Mayhew. This is the Pro Grip hose hook with a nice, comfortable handle that's easy to grip. It's a tri-lobe design with a beautiful 90-degree steel pick. Lifetime warranty on these, I believe. Yeah, these are made in the USA. So I like Mayhew for a lot of reasons. The fact that they manufacture a lot of the stuff in the US means a lot to me. And their pricing really isn't that bad at all. I mean, you might think that a quality made in USA tool is going to be way more expensive than what these guys charge for this stuff, but the pricing on Mayhew is rather good. And they manufacture tools for other brands as well. Their Dominator pry bars are manufactured for Matco. I think they were manufacturing for Snap-on. I know they were manufacturing for Mac for a while. Cornwell, I don't think so, because I think Cornwell makes their own. But a smart thing that Mayhew did was they bought a plastics company, so now they manufacture their own handles. So sometimes they'll manufacture just the handles for someone else's pry bars, but they're really kind of a one-stop shop. If you need, a steel pry bar, pick, hook, and a plastic handle, then Mayhew can make it all. And I really like that about them. And the fact that they put lifetime warranties on everything. Question-free warranty returns if you ever need to do one. You just go through a dealer like me, and they're the easiest thing in the world. I just hand you a new one when you give me a broken one. One of my customers will buy stuff from me for his father out of convenience, and his father is a big fan of products that are made in the USA. So I got a text message the other day from this customer asking if I could get a 7/8 socket with a 3/4 drive that's made in the USA. There's only one option for that isn't a company like Snap-on, and that's SK Tools. And SK has a made in USA 7/8 6-point socket with a 3/4 drive. They're pricey because they're SK, and SK gets $40 for this socket. So, he knows that. He's going to pay more for it, but for his dad, it is absolutely worth the price. So I'm happy to help where I can. He's one of the few guys I know that will willingly spend the extra money to buy something that's made in the US. For most of us, when budget really is a concern, we'll opt for something that's made overseas that costs a little bit less. But where we can buy something that's in the US, like Mayhew, like a lot of Lang products are made in the US, like SK, we can do that. And we should support American manufacturing where we can. I understand that we all can't do it. I include myself among those folks because it really is difficult to argue the economics when we all have limited budgets, especially if you're buying tools for a living, then you're constantly buying tools. Because this comes from a customer's father, I don't know what he does for a living, so I don't know if he's still in the business or if he turns tools professionally. But if he does, then you're spending so much money on tools all the time. You try to save money where you can. If you don't have to, SK is a really good option. They're an excellent company that makes excellent products, although they are a U.S. company. They are owned by a Chinese company. So I don't know if that matters to you, but at least there is still an SK in the U.S. that's manufacturing stateside. It's fun to look around for a particular product that meets the customer's need when he may not know exactly what it is he wants, and I may not know either. I had a customer ask me if I can get him a magnetic organizer for his drawer, and he described what he wanted, and I found from Mechanics Timesaver this magnetic pliers holder. He's not going to use it for pliers. He's going to lay screwdrivers in it, I think, and he can probably double up screwdrivers because these slots are wide enough, so it has magnets on the bottom, and it will hold your metal tools in there, so you can stand pliers up on end if you want, or you can lay wrenches in there. He's going to use it for screwdrivers, extensions, whatever else will fit in there. This little guy fits the bill. Kind of cool. You don't see this necessarily as a lot of people's go-to options for storage needs or organization needs in their carts and boxes, but this is a really viable, fairly inexpensive way to get yourself some general use storage that you can use for any one of our number of things. Keep watching the channel because I've got more air tool videos to show you because I've repaired a few different ones. I'm working on one from Chicago Pneumatic that's been giving me some fits lately. And hopefully, by the time you see this video, that one will be done. I'll be ready to put it up, and I'll tell you the whole interesting backstory with that, as well as the problems I was having to find the right parts for it, because I had to nail the model number, which has been kind of difficult. Also, check out this quarter's flyer drop video if you haven't already. And of course, we're going to have more Tools in the Hall videos. So do me a favor, click down here now to subscribe so you don't miss any of it. Thank you so much for watching. And remember, use a tool. Don't be one.